Okay, so today we will start with new chapter, that is we will see how to connect MySQL database with our Python coding. So before starting to the MySQL, let's first see the Python standard for database interfaces is the Python DB API. The most Python databases interface adhere to this standard. There are several databases we can connect with the Python API, that is the GladFi, MSQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL. Then also there are several one like Oracle as well. So in today's session, we will first see how to connect MySQL database with Python. So let's start with our today's video. Now, first we have to install MySQL Workbench, or you can install XAMPP server in your PC. So I have already installed the XAMPP server in my PC. Let's see how to install XAMPP server. The first thing, you can go to the XAMPP portal. In that portal you can download the particular file or the particular version of XAMPP, and there is a normal procedure of installation. You can see the videos on the YouTube how to install XAMPP in your Windows 10 or Windows 7, whatever your version has. So these are the first step we have to done. After this, we have to just launch our XAMPP server. So I'm just opening my XAMPP control panel. Now, after opened up the XAMPP server, I'll just start my Apache server and then the MySQL. With the help of this MySQL, we can operate various operations of the databases. We can also use the SQL queries to perform certain operation on the database. The first thing, just open up the XAMPP or phpMyAdmin, the MySQL server with the admin button. Now I am just open up the my phpMyAdmin. In this part, you can create your first database, that is in today's database. I'll just give the name as Ghadge, or we can give Curiosity Academy as a database, or Academy as the name of your database. You can take any of the name. The first thing, I'll just select the collection and then create a database. This is the first step we have to do. The database has been created. We can see at the left side of our corner. So Academy is created. Now, with the help of Python, we can access this Academy database. So now, for this, we must have to first install the Python. This is a basic procedure you have to know how to install Python. After installation of Python, you just require the IDE. We have PyCharm IDE in our PC. So I just open my PyCharm software. Okay. Now I'll just close my previous project. Okay. Now, after closing my previous project, there is some button, new project. I'll just click on the new project, give the name to the project. I'll give MySQL access name to the my project. Then you have to select particular version of Python which is installed in your PC. So I have just clicked on my particular version of installed version in my system, and then I'll just click on the create button. After creating the project, there are certain virtual environment is creating in my system. So now we can just create a file for the connection purpose. So just right click on our project folder, click on the new file and click on the Python file. I'll just give the name, that is the PY DB connect, whatever you can use as the name of the file. After creating your file, just you have to install PyMySQL in your particular project. So to install particular package, I'll just use the command pip install PyMySQL and enter. Okay. Now PyMySQL is successfully installed in my particular project. So after installing the PyMySQL, I'll just import the particular PyMySQL in the file, and then now we have to connect to our database. So for whenever we are using XAMPP server, we just require four parameters. That is, the first one is a host, second one is our actual particular username and the password, and the last one is our particular database name. So for this purpose, I'll just create a one variable, that is the db, which is equal to, now I'll use py mysql dot connect function from PyMySQL. So in this function, I have to give first parameter as a host. So as you know, the host is our local host for particular our XAMPP server or your local hosts. And whenever you are uploading your MySQL, or you can use the MySQL from the server side, you can use the particular IP address in the host. So after this, I'll just use the second parameter as a user. That is, the user for XAMPP server is our root. Then I'll use the password field, password, password. Password for the XAMPP server is a blank, so there is a nothing between the quotation. Then the next part we have to use that database. The next parameter we have to use, that is database. Database equal to, in that, now you already know that we have created database, that is the academy. Okay, so now we have created the connection variable, we have created a connection. So after this, we just check the connection. For this purpose, I'm using the another point, that is, we have to prepare a cursor object using cursor method in this part. So I am using the cursor method. Cursor on particular connection, so db cursor. So we have created the particular cursor object. Then after creating the cursor, we have to execute SQL query using execute method. So now I am creating the execute method on the cursor, that is execute. So I'll put a particular query, that is the first query I use, that is the to select the version of our MySQL database. So I'll use the method select version method. So it will select our particular version, and that cursor we have to fetch a single row which using fetch one method. So we have to use the fetch one method. So I'll create one variable, that is the data equal to cursor dot fetch one. You can use the fetch all method whenever you have a multiple entries. So for single entry, for single row, I am using the fetch one method. So I am using the fetch one method, and now I'll just print my particular version, that is database version. Database version is, then I'll use the particular parameter, that is the data. After using it, I'll close the connection. First, we have opened the connection for the database using the db PyMySQL connect. Now I'm the closing the connection from the server. So db dot close is the particular method we have to use to close the connection. Now let's see code is a working functional or not, or code is a working proper or not. So I would just start it. Okay, now we got the database version, that is the 10.4.32 MariaDB. Now we can check this part at our particular server. You can get that the server type, that MariaDB, and the particular version of the server is 10.4.32. Now it is successfully connected with our database.